Got the 17 Stinger out today. Going to be testing the 21 grain Hammer Hunters, which are these bad boys here. One to the left is the 18 grain Dead Blow Hammer bullets. I was told not to shoot hogs with the 17 or the 18 grain Dead Blows, but the 21 grain Hammer Hunters should do the job, especially for the velocities this rifle will produce. Now, these cases have not been fire formed. You can see it's got that bulge. So what I'm doing is an initial, what I like to call fire form load development, and I'll literally run a pressure test at 1 grain increments using Win 748. I'm going to start at 24 grains and work up to 26.5, and I am going to have 25.5. I try to do this with the old load of IMR 3031, and I will show you the horrible results of that. It was literally blowing the cases, and this is fire form cases. Typically, when your bullets are within 5 grains of each other, you could typically use the same load, but apparently not in the 17 Stinger because it's a lot of pressure there. So we'll start low in the Win 748 and work up to see what type of velocities we'll get. And we're also going to be fire forming these cases. And I've got a bunch of these that need to be fire formed, so I went ahead and developed a fire form test load that I can hunt with. Yeah, there's a little bit of a case mark there. One of the things I absolutely love about Hammer bullets, 6 different test charges at 1 grain increments at 100 yards, all under a minute. Case evaluation from today's shooting session. I don't know if you could see this or not, but starting with the lightest charge at 24 grains, there is an ejection mark right there on the far left, and I'll put an arrow there so you can see what I'm talking about. But every one of these has a ejection mark. Now, none of these ejected properly, so I think there's something going on with the gas system. So I'm going to eliminate the ejection marks as a pressure sign. So the next thing I'm going to look at is the primer strikes. The first 3 cases, all of the primers on the outer diameter are rounded and look just fine. When we get to the second to last one, and I think we're at, what is that, 26 grains, which is this one right here. I'm going to put all these down, but these last 3. This is 26 grains. You could see that it's starting to flatten, because if you look at the one on the left again, it's rounded, and then that one, it's not as rounded as the 25.5. And then when we get up to the 26.5, which is the last one here on the right, you can see that the primer strike in the middle looks really harsh, and the case is definitely has a backflow. That's what that black color is. The powder meat is coming backwards outside of the case, and the ejection mark is definitely a lot harsher there on the very top. So we're going to use the 25 grains or 26 grains? 26 grains of Win 748, and the velocities that I am getting to form these cases is 45.56, and it'll be interesting now that these cases are fully formed, once I get my next charge set up, how much higher velocity I'll be able to get. But this will be able to start taking down coyotes and possibly a hog right in the earlobe.